Hello, parents. I'm really excited to tell you about math in 8th grade this year. I want to start by talking a little bit about myself. I have 2 kids and I am married to somebody who also works in education. Some of you might recognize my husband from San Antonio. I have 2 kids at home, an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old, so I'm definitely getting a lot of time with middle schoolers between work and home. Luckily, I love this age. I graduated from Cal Poly. I love to read. I also love Bay Area sports, especially basketball. I love to travel. Over the summer, I went to Europe. I try to travel as much as I can. And I'm working on trying to love running and exercising. I've been in Alum Rock for 17 years now. I have experience teaching elementary school. I've been an instructional coach for several years, and this is my 4th year teaching middle school at Renaissance Academy. So this year in Math High School 1, we're going to be doing a total of 9 units. You can see them all listed here. You'll see that the year starts with a unit on the Pythagorean theorem, where we're also doing a project where we are creating blueprints and using toothpicks to build and test bridges. Then we'll move into a unit on exponents and irrational numbers. Around December, we'll do a unit on scientific notation, and then we'll do the universe scale project where kids will use an online tool to compare really, really giant things such as Jupiter to something really, really small such as an atom. The 4th unit is going to be a unit on functions where kids will learn to graph linear equations and do an art project. Unit 5, 6, and 7 are pretty quick units, so there are no projects involved. We're going to be solving equations with one variable, learning about systems of equations, doing a lot of geometry. Around March, we'll be doing a unit on volume, and we'll be designing cakes for March Madness to utilize those skills. And finally, we will learn exponential functions, and we will be designing and building roller coasters. So this is what our block looks like each day in math. The kids come in, we start with a daily do now, which is an opportunity just to spiral back to skills. I want to make sure that they continue to practice throughout the year. Then I will move into a mini lesson, which is whatever skill I want them to learn, which is aligned to our unit. And then we move into a workshop where the kids are getting a real blended learning experience. So during this time, I'm pulling small groups, kids are working on projects, and kids also have some time on Khan Academy. Then we'll go ahead and close for the day. So part of the plan this year is to have students work on Khan Academy. And one of the reasons why is because I want to make sure that kids are getting a lot of practice with calculations. And if I stand up in front of the class and model calculations, it's usually that the kids who understand how to do it still understand how to do it, and the kids who don't still don't. So I really believe in spending the time teaching application and how to use the math that we learned. Khan Academy allows kids to practice those rote skills and move at their own pace. So this year, I would really like kids to actually definitely complete their 8th grade learning mission, but also get as close to completing the high school math 1 mission as possible. This would give them the opportunity to start high school in math 2, if that turns out to be the right placement. So what I'm requiring this year is that kids are spending 120 minutes on Khan Academy per week. They do get some time in class, but the rest of the time should be homework. So if they're really planning out their week well, we're looking at about 20 minutes a night. And for kids who don't have access to a device at home, they are more than welcome to come to Homework Center on Mondays and Wednesdays, or they're welcome to work in Mr. Rodriguez's room at 8 o'clock on Tuesday through Friday each morning. So there are plenty of opportunities for kids to use devices at school if they need to. The requirement is that students master about 10% of the 8th grade mission every 2 to 3 weeks. This will keep them on track to complete the mission by the end of the year. So here are the student requirements for class. Class participation in math is worth 20%, and the way that kids earn points here is by participating during whole group instruction, asking questions as needed. I definitely believe that this year they need to learn to advocate for themselves and ask when things get hard. 8th grade math is pretty rigorous, and I want them to feel comfortable asking me even in a private space when they don't understand, so that when they go to high school, that's not something that's awkward for them. They are also graded on how well they use their time, so I want to make sure that during class they're working toward completing their assigned practice and any project-based learning experiences. 20% of their grade will also be classwork. A big part of this is the binder check. So during the year, kids are building out a binder where they're keeping all their con notes and their class notes, and that way they have a place to reference when they're working on assignments or on projects. Projects are also part of that classwork grade, as well as any other in-class assignments and group work. I definitely provide a lot of times for kids to apply the math they've learned and do some problem solving with their classmates. 30% of their grade is homework. In 8th grade, we're looking for kids to spend about an hour and a half or 2 hours each day on homework, and that's for all of their classes, not just for math. So again, they're expected to get their Khan Academy minutes finished. There's usually an opportunity for them to practice vocabulary and language that aligns to what we're learning in class. Some spiral review problems, because I just want to make sure that they're always coming back to these big concepts that we're learning this year. And then when we have projects, the homework will include project checkpoints, just so that I can help kids stay on track with their work. Finally, the assessment piece is also worth 30%. So every 2 to 3 weeks, kids are expected to master 10% of their Khan Academy mission, and this does become a test grade out of 10 points. And then with that, I also give unit performance tasks, and this is where kids show that they can apply the math that they've learned in that unit to solving some sort of larger problem. So again, I'm really excited to work with all of your kids this year. I really believe in partnerships between teachers and parents. So if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. I really feel that strong communication is key. So feel free to email me anytime, and I'm really looking forward to this year. Thank you.